Hello, everyone. How are you? It's Jeannie here, and I hope you are all doing well. Today's video is going to be showing you some of my favorite things lately. And kind of, when you discover something and you're just like, yeah, I really like this. It's kind of like that. And some things might be a repeat. So anyway, I just wanted to show you a few of these things. Now, I'm going to start off by asking for some help. If you are in the Sacramento, Folsom, El Dorado Hills area, and you go to a restaurant called Mikuni, it's a sushi restaurant. If you could ask them what kind of mints they have, the after dinner mints that you get when you leave, they have a big bowl of wrapped mints. I took a handful. I know I'm a pig, but I took a handful and I ate those, and they're creamy buttermint type things, but I fell in love. I tried ordering some mints because I'll go through a phase, like a candy phase, like I must have Skittles, I must have Neckos, I must have Starbursts, I must have licorice, I must have Smarties. And so I'll buy a ton and then eat them, and then I'm done. I am done for years, perhaps. So I, go all in, get it out of my system, and then I'm done. Well, I tried to find some of those buttermints. I ate almost the whole package. I just found these on Amazon, but they're not the same. They're not creamy buttermints. So I'm on a quest to find them and order them. That has not satisfied that craving. So if you go to Mikuni's anytime soon, I suppose I could just call them. But I'd love to know if you know what those creamy mints, they're in a little white wrapper, and they're so good. They're so good. So that's one of my favorite things, but I don't have them, and I need them. I need them. Okay, so that's my first thing, and I need your help to find it. Okay, second thing, and I'm only saying this because I have it right here, and I've talked to you about these before. I am so loving these little cases, these little sleeves for our glass water bottles. We have a dozen of these in the fridge, filled up with good filtered water from my Cove Pier that I love. And we take these everywhere we go. The thing about glass is you do have to be careful. Glass breaks. My husband dropped one the other day, and glass went everywhere. We have a tile floor in the kitchen. It shattered and went everywhere. He was filling them up. So that's the one thing. So I just love these. And they come in all kinds of pretty colors. So yeah, I'm really trying to get rid of unnecessary plastics in our diet. And I'm not an extremely drastic person, but I start doing things, a little here and a little there, just to make some positive changes. And so this was one of them, getting our water bottles, reusable water bottles in glass. We now have 11. We had 12. We're down to 11. And then Speaking of plastic, you can tell the cats were in here because I'm itching my face. Another thing that we are really loving is our Nespresso Vertuo coffee maker. We've gone through different phases of coffee, and we've had, just from the regular brewing coffee, just a big pot of coffee, to the bean to brew, where it grinds the beans and then makes a brew per cup. And we had that. It was a Chibo, Tchibo. And it was great, except it required a lot of cleaning way up inside of the guts of it, because what I found out is bean to brew, where you store beans in a hopper and they crunch down and make your coffee. If you don't thoroughly clean them often enough, it grows mold. And we didn't realize how fast, because we're in a warm environment here in Texas. Even though our house stays relatively cool, we're in a warm environment. And so I had it out, and I guess I hadn't been cleaning it often enough. And I took the whole unit, took it to the sink, and I've got the little long scrubbers. And I'm going way up inside and pulling out moldy coffee residue. And I thought, I've been drinking that. I've been serving that to people. So I said, that's it. I took that thing out to the garage where my husband was working out on his workbench. I said, this is going in the garbage. And he said, why? That was expensive. And I said, nope, because unless we practically, do surgery on it every week or whatever, it's going to grow mold. And I'm not taking that risk. It's out. So we got rid of it. So what did we replace it with? The Nespresso Vertuo. Now, speaking of plastic, I did not want 212-degree water going through those little K-cups, those plastic pods that are everywhere. They're the most ubiquitous coffee pod. They're everywhere. It's like if I'm trying to reduce plastic in my life, in my diet, and yet I'm putting steaming hot water, boiling water, through plastic. How much is actually leaching through? I don't know. But I just thought, no, I don't want to do that. The Nespresso Vertuo pods are, I should have brought one up here, but I'm going to take a video and show you. They're metal. And so I'm thinking it's way better than plastic. So we've really been enjoying this. You can get the pods either directly from Nespresso, and shipping is really fast, and it's free if you spend, I can't remember what it was, $50 or $75. And they ship it to you, and they ship you a bag that you can put the used pods in and ship it back. So I like that, kind of better than just throwing them away into waste. And you can also buy on Amazon through Starbucks. Starbucks is the recognized partner, I suppose you would call it that, with Nespresso, the Vertuo pods. And that's it. You can't do the knockoffs. You can't do the fill your own. I've seen them. I was tempted to, but somebody told me you could mess up your coffee pot because it's like a little reader. It reads the bottom, the little code on there, and you don't want to mess it up. So it's like, I'm not going to mess with trying to find a dupe or a cheap you know, it's $1.50 for a cup of coffee. We're not going out and buying coffee. I have 1 cup a day, and it's so good. The froth on it, the crema is so good, and every pod is so delicious. They have all strengths. They're really fantastic. So, you know what's interesting is it was at when I was visiting out in California last month for that funeral, I stayed with my daughter, one of my girls, and she had this. And I liked how it opened. I liked, how you closed it. I liked the flavors she had. It was, it's like, I'm going to get this. I need a new one. It was cheaper to buy it with the steam frother unit. At that time, there was a special than it was to buy it without it. I don't use the steam frother. It's a separate unit. I don't use it very often. And to buy that separately was like $35 or $50. And it was cheaper to buy it with it than without it. So I bought it with it, and it's up in my cabinet. So anyway, I love the Nespresso Vertuo coffee. Now, I have it on this pull out thing because you kind of have to pull it out if the top of your cupboard, which is where you want to keep it, is pushed back. The top won't open enough. So I bought this really cool low profile thing that pulls the whole unit out very easily. And then we have the container, the dispenser for all the pods. Well, a lot of the pods. Anyway, I keep more in my pantry. So anyway, that's my coffee story. And I'm really, really happy with it right now. So everything has, I have a link to my Amazon storefront, and I watch for sales in there. Sometimes we just passed the Amazon days, the Prime days, where there were a lot of deals. I don't know if that was one of them or not, but there's some great deals that Amazon has. Okay, now we are starting to get ready for a trip in 10 days. We're heading to Puerto Vallarta, and then when we come back, the next trip is to Germany for Christmas. One of the things that prevents me sometimes from doing carry-on, and I love doing carry-on, is my liquids. One of the things that I want to be able to bring is my own shampoo. And so, yeah, I could divide it all up and whatnot, but I found something that I am just so excited over, and let me show you. It is from Kitsch, Kitsch. Now, I brought this straight up from the shower. Look at this. These are rice water protein shampoo and conditioner bars that you lather up and wash your hair with. It's a solid, not a liquid. It can go on planes in carry-on. This is the soap, the body soap. Oh my God, this smells so good. Oh. It's not to be eaten. Look at how creamy they lather up. The rice water protein helps strengthen and smooth, and it encourages healthy hair growth. My hair has felt softer, and I don't need that after spray detangler because this conditioning bar is making it so smooth. They are free of sulfates, parabens, silicones, and phthalates, and they're better for the environment too. And can we talk about this self-draining caddy? It's got slits on the bottom. I have a shelf that I keep it on, but there are also suction cups that you can attach it to your shower wall or window glass if you'd like. Another thing I love about this are these little net hangers. So this says shampoo. After you do your hair, it can go in here and it hangs on the handle to dry. So it's not going to sit in a pool of water and dissolve. It can just dry. And for my bad eyes, because I cannot read in the shower, look at this. One is in white and one is in black. The shampoo is in white and the conditioner is in black. Brilliant. So we are taking these on all our travels. My husband loves it too. He doesn't have as much hair as I do, but he loved how his hair felt. And even though he's got only a little bit of hair, he's very picky about how his hair feels. And he loves this. So I'm so happy about that. Kitsch has so many other thoughtful products, like their eco-friendly clips, the styling tools, this cherry printed towel wrap. I love their satin pillowcase. It's such a wonderful luxury, as I've talked about before, that helps reduce frizz and tangles and face wrinkles, let me be honest. With my link, each bar is around $11, or you can grab the set for about $21. Kitsch ships in the US and to over 90 countries, and with a subscription, you'll save even more. So use my link in the description box to get 25% off, and that will apply at checkout. Thank you to Kitsch for partnering with me. I had been searching and searching, and I am so happy to have found this. So thank you, and thank you for the wonderful discount that you're offering me and my followers. About a couple months back, I made a video about making laundry soap, my own laundry soap. Do you remember that? I'll link it up here. Well, the follow-up on that is thumbs up. I love it, and I'm ready to make more. Look, I'm almost out. It still smells so wonderful. Oh, I have an echo. I used lavender, the soap bars that were lavender, and some lavender essential oil. Oh my God, that's so good. So I am thrilled with this soap. So I use about this much per load of laundry, and it's doing a fine job. My husband, I'm getting an echo. Sometimes he drips when he eats or spills on his shirt. I used a little bit, made a paste of it with some water, took the stain right out. So this stuff is awesome. Now, as far as the softener, it smells nice right now, but this does not come through at the end. My clothes come out smelling 100% neutral, and I'll tell you why. Vinegar, white vinegar. I got this, I don't know, maybe Walmart? No, maybe Costco? I don't know. I use about maybe a quarter cup of this, quarter to a half a cup of this in my rinse. This whole thing was maybe $2 or $3. And I've had this for months and months. So talk about saving money. The nice thing about vinegar, white vinegar, yeah, it smells like vinegar. It doesn't come through when you're done with the wash when it's done. It neutralizes all the odors. It's good for the machine, and it actually naturally softens your clothes. Fabric softeners are gummy and plasticky in a sense, and they gum things up. I have a front-loading washing machine, and I can feel when I was using fabric softener way back when, you could feel like underneath that front window and in the plastic rubber parts, you could feel that plasticky grime. This cuts that way, way down. So I highly, highly recommend going to vinegar, just plain white, cheap vinegar for your fabric softener. You do not need your clothes to come out smelling like a tropical vacation or an ocean breeze, whatever that is. You want your clothes clean. That's the bottom line. You don't need them full of plastic and chemicals and allergens, okay? White vinegar. It's cheap, cheap, cheap. And smart. Okay. One other thing that I am really happy with is what's called the Swedish sleeping method, or the Scandinavian or European. And what that is using 2 duvets or comforters, depending on, what you do. If you have a partner, say, who runs hot in the night, or a partner that runs cold in the night. I get really, really hot. My husband likes to bundle up. And so when we had one comforter and our sheet and whatever, he liked it really, really heavy, and I didn't. And I was throwing the covers off at night. And so what I tried to do was put a lighter weight bedspread, comforter, duvet on, and then put an extra layer on his side. Well, that didn't look, really good. Not that anybody goes in there. But what I did is I got 2 duvets from IKEA of different weights. Mine is the lightweight, the summer weight, and his is the medium weight. In the winter, he goes to a heavyweight because he just might freeze to death in Texas here. So anyway, I'm happy with my lightweight, and he is happy with his medium to heavyweight. And yes, there's a split up the center. I don't care. I get 2 twin sizes and put them together. I fold them over a little bit in the middle. And we don't use a sheet, a top sheet, just the bottom sheet. I change them out every week. I wash the duvets and the duvet covers, of course, and I have different colors and different patterns, so it's easy to change up. And I tell you, it is fantastic. When we go to Europe, and we've been going for a long time, that isn't uncommon there. As a matter of fact, some of the European, mostly Germany and where else? I think it was Holland, where we did this, and I can't remember, mostly Germany, where it's almost 2 twin mattresses, kind of like a particular kind of mattress, and there's even a seam up the mattress, and you have your own bed, and they're just pushed together, and it looks like a king. But we have the one mattress and then just the 2 duvets and duvet covers. It is a fantastic system. And so if you have a partner and you don't sleep at the right equal temperatures, I highly recommend this. If you want to get rid of that seam in the middle, you could take an extra blanket and put it over the top if you want, if anybody cares. I don't care. The little white blanket is for the cats. I open that up at night because they like to be on something. You know, heaven forbid should they not get something they want, right? So anyway, it's either called the Swedish sleeping system or method, or Scandinavian or European, but I tell you, I will never go back to having one big comforter, one big bedspread, one big, blanket system. It's, I get mine and you get yours. So that's something I'm just absolutely in favor of. I get asked a lot about the equipment I use in my studio. So I always list that in my Amazon storefront under equipment I use. Some of, like my new NT5s microphones, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but I do love them. My other Rode little shotgun mic I loved as well. But the camera that I use, that I would just plug it directly into, it picks up a rattle. So that's not a combination I could use anymore. So I had to find something else if I still wanted to keep this camera. And I did. I like the camera. I just can't stand the rattle when I use that one single mic. So these do help. I use GarageBand to edit my sound. For a non-techie, this was a huge feat. It was a huge challenge. I don't understand hertz, megahertz, and all the things, the levels of what's supposed to be what. And, there are colors, and you want this one high and this one low. I was tempted to send out my videos to somebody else to just edit, to put my recording to the video and make it sound right. But then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. No. I need to just learn this, and I had to practice on you, and some of my videos I think had some really funky sounds because I'm learning. And sometimes I start recording before I've checked everything. I do that. And something had gotten moved. The cat walked by and, hit a dial or something like that. Oh, well, the way I look at that is I don't know that I can ever be perfect in what I do in here. But I try to be better. I try to do a good job, and I try to put out content that sounds good and looks good. So anyway, you've been very patient with me on that, but here they are. You can kind of see them because I don't know where to put them. So if you are a sound person, like a sound engineer or a really good videographer type of person who understands sound, feel free to email me because I know I have so much to learn about this. Anyway, that's my equipment, and everything I use is listed in my Amazon storefront category for equipment I use. I keep a running list there, and I'm glad I do because I have referred so many newer YouTubers to it. I would always say, do not start off with the most expensive. Cut your teeth on the cheap stuff. Do not go expensive to start off with. My little Sony camera is my favorite little camera. It is not one of those big $4,000 cameras. I would love one, but then I'd have to learn how to use it. I don't want to. This is enough. but my sound needed some help. My lighting, I think I've got that down. And I love what my husband did in here, you know? It was driving him crazy to see things on the floor. It's not a very big room. And you know what? I'm going to take a picture of this right now and show you what he did. He's so clever. He said, do you want me to hang everything from the ceiling? And I said, no, that's crazy. I mean, how would I move it around? And he said, oh, I can make these things. He did. Let me show you. Let me show you. There, I just took a picture. The next thing I'm buying is new batteries for my camera. They die now after 20-something minutes, and I think they have a, sell by date or use by date that is long gone. Anyway, anything I recommend to you, anything that I say yes to in terms of a sponsor is something I have to be behind. I say no to about 5-10 things per month because I don't align with them. I don't want to promote something that I don't absolutely love. And so I do hope you check out these amazing bars. If you're going to be traveling, they're fantastic, even if you're not. I've got these, I'm using these every other day. I wash my hair every other day. And I am just loving it. I was dubious at first. What's it going to do to my hair? And I love it. I love it. And so does my husband. So that's really important. So, and I love that it's great for the environment too. So thank you to people at Kitsch for providing this to me and all of you. Okay, everyone. I'm going to sign off for now. I need to find the mints and the white wrappers. I don't know, maybe other restaurants sell them too, but I know Mikuni's does. In El Dorado Hills, that's where I was. And I need those mints. I need them. I must eat an entire bag of them. And then I will be satisfied for 2 to 3 years. And I'll move on to my next, must have. So, all right, I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you. And thank you for allowing me this little indulgence here. And I'd love if you guys would tell me if you tried this soap. I don't want to call it a recipe, and I think there are lots of variations of it online. You could look at it. But regardless, switch from using fabric softener to vinegar, white vinegar. I promise you, you're going to see a difference in your clothes as well. So, okay, this is me signing off, sending you love. That thing, my grandson and his fiance FaceTimed me the other night, and they did this, and a bunch of hearts went up on the FaceTime. Blew my mind. Technology. Anyway, take care, my friends. I wish you so much wellness, so much goodness, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Goodbye for now.